Attention all competitors. This is your 1-minute warning. I repeat, 1 minute to race commencement. Members of the public, you now have 1 minute to reach minimum safe distance. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, fire 'em up!
Not going to lie, that intro in a beginning, is got to be one of the most coolest thing I did in my YouTube career. It looked cooler in my head, but hey, I'm proud of it. Very impressive indeed, Dexter. It remind me of the Fast and Furious home made by Cinefix. If you don't know, Dexter is the guy that ran this channel, and also the guy that write the script. Just ignore all the contradicted evidence that suggest I'm the one that ran in this channel, and just pretended he been running this channel since the beginning, and me and my homies is just here voicing over his video. Okay, back to the script. Fun fact, the barbaric use in that intro is a custom. I even make a video about how I make that custom, so if you're interested with that, check the link in the description. Fun fact, the file size for that video is bigger than GTA Vice City, and the funniest part is the video's in 720p. Well, hello there. Welcome back to another video. I'm your host Ray, and welcome to another special event video, our holiday special for some reason, and today is June 30th, the 29th anniversary of Carmageddon, or I hope I release this video in a correct date, because I can't find the exact detail of when is the first Carmageddon game was released. Some source says, it's February 2nd, Google says it's June 30th, but the Carmageddon wiki says it's June 20th. I'm just going to use the last one, June 20th, cool. Now I have to make a community post about me delaying this video in 5 months. Anyway, Carmageddon is one of the most underrated racing game franchise in my opinion. It's also one of my guiltiest pleasure, because in absent is very hard to recommend a game that is basically a glorified demolition derby, where all you do is just ram people to the wall in a weirdly big map until they die. It's one of those rare racing game where you can quote-unquote ignore the racing and do whatever the hell you want in here, even though in reality you can only win the event by doing 3 things. Win the underwhelming checkpoint race, where the opponent barely try to race with you. Kill all the opponent, which is the most fun thing you can do in any Carmageddon game, and kill all pedestrian, which is the opposite of that, except for Carmageddon max damage. I like painting my car blood red from all the pedestrian I run over. Cool, Dexter, just don't do that in real life. Anyway, back to the script. I know in the later game you have mission that remind me of the game, Reckless, the Yakuza mission for some reason. Just wait until I got a brand new computer to play that game. My old one got a little bang up. Oh yeah, forgot to say this. And also the reason why Carmageddon is such a obscure and niche game is because most of the Carmageddon game are PC exclusive. beside couple of bad and mediocre, console port, because you can't look me dead in the eye and tell me this too is the same game, and beside that Carmageddon main home is the PC, and obviously PC gaming is not as popular as it's now, and that's why most of you never heard of this franchise. Anyway, enough yepping over Carmageddon. Let's talk about our main subject, Barbaric, because what better way to celebrate the 29th anniversary of Carmageddon by making a casting history video over a car that looked like it came straight from that game. Because you dead ass look at me in the eye, and tell me that the designer didn't take couple of inspiration from Max Damage Eagle R, with the Mohawk blade being the most obvious one, so much so that someone even make a mod that add this car in the game, which is the background gameplay I will use for this video. Shout out to the YouTube user, LinceDJ, for letting me shamelessly use this video without her permission. Usually I would use my own gameplay for the background, but anyway, link in the description. Anyway, Barbaric, designed by Junamai, the same designer the design casting like Nitro Goat Slammer, Goat Rod 2, couple of shitbox I forgot the name of, Mad Goat, and of course how can we forgot, Bump Around. He also designed couple of car from this series called Acceleracers, never heard of it, I prefer Heroes on Hot Wheel. Anyway, according to the wiki, Barbaric is a depiction of a demolition derby style muscle car with a rough around the edges sort of aesthetic. Weird that the wiki never mentioned that the casting looked like Max Damage car. That's how obscure the series is, they should totally add that in the wiki. Also, I'm kind of high on caffeine right now. I can't really make a sentence, so if my commentary is a little wonky, that's the reason why. Anyway, according to the 2009 card summary for this casting, this demolition muscle car has integrated armor on the front and a steel rail across the top for smashing through toll gates and busting up the streets. By the way, this summary only exists on the new casting, and only exists on the US version of the card. It did not appear in the international card, but you guys probably already know that. Anyway, enough rambling, let's talk about Barbaric. This is a 2009, new model Barbaric. Alright everyone, take a shot every time I said the name of the casting in one of these video. This release is number 28 out of 42 in the series, is using a metal flake pink metal body, black plastic base, black tinted window, chrome interior piece, black blade and OH5 wheel with chrome outline. It looked like white but it's actually chrome according to the other picture of this release. Now the tampo. On a side, you can see a black and white stripe that go all the way to the rear fender. Underneath it you can see a text read, Barbaric. Above it you can see a Hot Wheel logo, and a silver air vent of some sort. I have no idea what this little hole is supposed to be. And on a hood you can see two black stripe. And now for my final thought. A little trivia for this release. The card artwork for this release show the wheel of the car with a pink outline instead of chrome, and a completely different wheel to the final one. I think that's a PR5 wheel. Anyway, this is a pretty alright release. I'm not sure why they decided to go with pink, but hey, pink and black is a pretty good color combo. I would much prefer if the wheel is fully chrome instead of this two-tone color. I see where they're going with it, but my opinion on two-tone wheel is similar to Douglas from Doug DeMuro opinion on black rim. Black rim high the spoke of the rim, and my source, no idea, I'm just heard it from the YouTuber Bladed Angel. Anyway, I give this release a solid B tier. A common occurring problem every time I make one of these videos is sometime I can barely found any picture for some of these release, and this one is no different. Anyway, this is a 2010 Racing Rigs Barbaric. This release is using a metal flake silver metal body, black plastic base, red tinted window, chrome interior piece with black blade, and a PR5 wheel with chrome red outline. Now the tempo. On a site you can see a red flame with black outline, and a red Hot Wheel logo with white outline. And now for my final thought. I'm just going to contradict myself by saying I really like the two-tone wheel of this release. The thing about this type of two-tone wheel is, it could either look cheap, or look super cool like this one. There's no in between. I love the color scheme of this release. It looked pretty badass. And I love the red headlight on this release. Looked very menacing. And the black base is just a cherry on top. Such a shame that this is the only up-close picture of this release. Nothing else to say, except for, this is our first S tier. This is a 2011 HW video game Heroes Barbaric. This release is number 15 out of 22 in the series, is using a satin black red metal body, gray plastic base, yellow tinted window, chrome interior with gray blade, and MC5 wheel with chrome gold outline. Now the tempo. On the side, you can see a brown to white tribal flame with black stroke, and a black Hot Wheel logo at the front fender. Before we move to my final thought, here's a little facts about this release. The HW video game Hero series was made to coincide with the HW Racing Circuit online game, where each car feature code in a package that can be used to play the car in the game. And here's a little fun fact about that game. Barbaric make his first, and last video game appearance in that game. And now you know why this casting is so obscure. I guess Barbaric and Carmageddon have something in common. Anyway, now for my final thought. Another badass release for this casting, and it's also the only releases of this casting that was painted red. What? They don't want to get sued by whoever owned Carmageddon at a time. Anyway, I would much prefer if the entire wheel is painted gold, but this two-tone wheel does look pretty good along with this color scheme, 2 S tier in a row. This is a 2012 Demolition Derby 5-pack Barbaric. This releases using a enamel yellow metal body, blue plastic base, blue tinted window, chrome interior with gray blade, and a PR5 wheel with yellow outline. Now the tempo. On the rear half of the car, you can see a black and white spray target with 3 lightning bolt, blue 00 on the front door, black air vent, a blue Hot Wheel logo and 2 little stripe in black and blue. On the other side of a car, you can see the 00 on the rear half, a target and 3 lightning bolt, this time in the different position, and the same tempo from the other side. Before I talk about my final thought, here's the thing that I forgot to say in the beginning of a video, but now I'm too lazy to edit that first section of a video, so I'm gonna talk about it here. One trend you might see on this casting are the casting being released outside of the main line. Why, you may ask? Well, you see, Barbaric was released right in a middle where Mattel tried to cut cost on their Hot Wheel car, specifically the main line, or basic car. You know the drill, 2 rivet rule, casting change. Like, look at how they massacre my boy Roll Cage. Seriously, if I was the one redesigning this casting, I would probably keep the front bumper, and make the spare wheel in the back a part of the base, or body, kind of like Baja Bone Shaker. Anyway, the casting being released outside of the main line is kind of a blessing in disguise, because the last thing I want to see is Bald Barbaric. Bald Barbaric doesn't exist. This time I can legally say it can't hurt you. Anyway, enough rambling, let's talk about my final thought. I like the yellow and blue color scheme of this release. I would much prefer if the wheel is fully chrome, just so it can match with the interior and blade, but overall this is a pretty solid release, A tier. This is a 2014 Attack Pack 5-pack Barbaric. Also in this 5-pack are Shell Shock, a car that straight up have a revolver as a headlight, and it's also the last releases of this casting. Anyway, this release is using a metal flake purple metal body, white plastic base, orange tinted window, gray interior piece with orange blade, and a PR5 wheel with yellow outline. Now the tempo. On the site, you can see a yellow and orange flame with a silver Hot Wheel logo and a stripe that go all the way to the rear bumper. Underneath it, you can see black and silver horizontal line that go all the way to the rear bumper. And now for my final thought. Pretty cool color scheme. It's not every day you see purple and orange. I like the two-tone wheel, probably because it looked better in this angle. It would probably look even better in person, aka every single casting that ever been featured in this series. I would much prefer if the wheel is fully painted gray to match with the interior. The tempo is pretty nice, not everyone cup of tea, because they could just ditch the stripe and just went with flame, but this tempo is pretty good. Overall, this is just a pretty good release, a solid A for this one. This is a 2015 Color Splash Science Lab 5-pack Barbaric. Also in this 5-pack are WhatsApp, a car that looked like something that Stella Stunna would drive. For those who know, you know. Anyway, this release is using a white plastic body, gray metal base, blue tinted window with red blade, and a transparent blue PR5 wheel with black rim. Now the tempo. On the side, you can see 2 orange stripe that go all the way to the rear bumper. Underneath it you can see black stripe and 4 tiny yellow stripe at the front bottom fender, orange text in the black box read, experimental, a flammable warning sign, and a black flame with a red Hot Wheel logo. And now for my final thought. This is a pretty cool release. Something you might hear me say a lot in this type of video, but it is a pretty cool release. I like that the wheel is the same color as a window. It would look so cool underneath the light. I wish the base is black so it can match with the interior, but overall, because I say cool 2 times earlier, and because I need to fill up the tier list, I will give this a solid C. This is a 2015 color shifter barbaric. Sometime I forgot that color shifter sometime got a re-release. Like I remember seeing the Diora 2 back in the day, and then kept seeing it for the next 3 years every time I go to the color shifter section of the store. Man, those are the days. Anyway, while doing research for this video, I found 3 packaging variation for this release, with the old logo, and the new logo. Anyway, this release is using a plastic body, green metal base, dark tinted window, gray interior piece with gray blade, and a OH5 wheel with chrome outline. Now the tempo and the color. Sometime I forgot that some color shifter or triple changer. Anyway, on warm water is yellow, moderate is orange, and cold is brown. On the side, you can see a horizontal arrow stripe with technology graphic. A black stripe above it. Yellow Hot Wheel logo. This sound graphic with one of the line being yellow. Tree metal plates with one of them have a black text read, Contru panel, or something because the front text is cut off. And now for my final thought. Well, to give credit where credit is due, on yellow you can't see the yellow graphic, something that a lot of color shifter do, but man, the color scheme is just terrible. Maybe if they change the base from green to gray, to match with the interior piece, maybe it would look better, but man, I am not a big fan of that yellow stripe. The rest of the graphic it's just fine though. Sometimes less is better, but overall this is a first F in the series. Usually I try to be as positive as possible because I hate negativity and I will rather become a trash man, rather than becoming a drama commentary YouTuber, and also to put insulted injury, usually color shifter are more expensive than the mainline.
Oh! Ew! What the fuck?
Scramble my testicles in a fruit blender I must. Endure the pain to defeat the Sith I must.
This is a 2018 Star Wars Classic Barbaric. This release is number 4 out of 8 in the series, is using a orange metal body, black plastic base, dark tinted window, chrome interior piece with dark green blade, and a chrome green OH5 wheel. Now the tempo. On the side, you can see a black stripe, and a yellow tear that's supposed to be a scenery, Yoda, along with orange and black Rebel Alliance logo, 4 Star Wars alphabet letter red, Yoda, also the last letter, Auric, is mirror for some reason, and now for my final thought. Very consistent color scheme, and also why is this color scheme look like pumpkin? And also, I don't know why they picked this casting for Yoda, because in the same series we got Bully Goat for Luke, and everybody know that both Bully Goat and Luke Skywalker is the GOAT. I know a lot of people don't really like the Theme Entertainment series, because according to them, all they did is just slap the character in a car and call it a day, which is true for some release, but to be honest I don't mind the Theme Entertainment series. In fact I like them, because they can either look like Atasha, or Mural Van, or sometime a combination of both like this one. God, please let Mattel get the Pokemon license. I would totally buy a Lucario themed Hako Type D. What the hell am I talking about again? Oh, right. I was thinking of making more top 10 video in a future, and putting my bigger series on pause, because as much as you and me love this 2 series, 1 facts about every Hot Wheel car and casting history, sometimes the script for those video can take a long time to make, especially if you have ADHD. Maybe I should got one of those ADHD medication and then finally work on that video I want to make for a long time. Anyway, judging by the poll I make months ago, you guys seem to prefer new series than the same one, right? Right. Anyway, I give this release a solid C tier. When it comes to Theme Entertainment release, there's another one later in a video that is much cooler than this. This is a 2024 Halloween Barbaric. Recently this release is featured in one of my top 10 video. Fun fact, this release got first place in that video, so you probably already know where I'm gonna put this in the list. Anyway, this release is number 2 out of 5 in a series, is using a metal flake gray metal body, black plastic base, red tinted window, black interior piece with grayish blue blade, and a chrome red skull wheel. Now the tempo. On the side, you can see this badass wolf tempo, a Hot Wheel jack-o'-lantern logo along with this 2 fur tempo in the front and rear bumper, that I forgot to mention in that top 10 video, and now for my final thought. The color scheme is perfect. The red wheel and window make the car look super mean. I absolutely love the wolf theme of this release, and overall this is just a badass release. Nothing else to say, except for S tier. Well, would you look at that, it's our first silver series in the series. This is a 2025 Batman Barbaric. Also in this series are Flight 03, and yes, I am just as surprised as you, when I found out that they still make this casting to this day. Maybe I would make a video on this casting in the year 3003. By the way, I'm not pulling Raid 2020 on you. My goodness, can't believe 2020 is 6 years ago. Anyway, this release is number 9 out of 20 in a series, is using a metal flake black metal body, light gray plastic base, clear window, chrome interior with gray blade, and chrome MM5 wheel. Now the tempo. On the side, you can see a red stripe and Cyborg. On the other side you can see Cyborg in a different post. Cool, this release has double printing, but wait, it got better. On a back you can see a red taillight tempo, and on the hood, you can see 2 stripe that's supposed to be a metal plating with black bolt. And now for my final thought. You know, the Silver series is a toy line that have a lot of potential for a super cool fantasy casting release, and this one is no exception. The Theme Entertainment series used to be its own thing, and now it's a part of the Silver series, which is cool. Talking about cool, this release is cool. Badass in fact. I love the silver and black color scheme. It's simple, a bit too simple for my liking, but the red tempo around the car body really add to the look of the car. I like the rear light tempo on this car. Maybe I should add that to my custom Barbaric. I love that they choose Cyborg for this car. Not only that the Cyborg decal look cool, but if you remove the Cyborg decal, this legit look like a type of car Cyborg would drive in universe. And you should know, I'm a DC fan. Nothing else to say, except for S tier. This is a 2025 color shifter Barbaric. This release is using a green plastic body, unpainted metal base, dark tinted window, chrome interior with gray blade, and a OH5 wheel with chrome green outline. Now the tempo. On warm water is green, and on cold it's black. On the side, you can see a diagonal black stripe, along with a Japanese characters that the wiki didn't even bother translate it, and a robot snake head. All of the stripe mentioned earlier are in black, but if you shift the color to black, you see what I did there. You would see 2 green stripe along with the Japanese characters mentioned earlier. And now for my final thought. When I first saw this release, I didn't really like it that much, because you should know, I own 3 of these release, once in a packaging, 1 loose, and 1 turned into a custom you saw in the beginning of the video. But the more I look at it, the more I wish that the color is other way around. Instead of green for the default worm color, why not black? Too bad I didn't live in Sweden where it's cold 24/7. Then I could display it in their cooler cold color. I would much prefer if the car changed color to red to black, but the green and black is pretty nice. And the wheel, not a big fan of that 2-tone wheel. One time when I was customizing that car scene in the intro, I color the wheel using a chrome marker, and man, that's a glow up if I ever seen one. But in all honesty, in some angle, it does look really cool with that 2-tone wheel. Anyway, I give A for the cold color, and C for the warm color. Before we move to the outro, here's today's YouTuber and music recommendation from me. Today's music recommendation is Fear Factory HK, or Hunter Killer. This song is in their Demanufacture album, where 3 of their instrumental version of the song from this album is in Carmageddon, but there is one song from this album that sadly didn't make it into the game, and I'm very sad that this song is not in this game, because it will be so perfect for this game, original or instrumental. Yeah, I'm not that good at describing song. The only thing that you should know about this song is, it's good and you must listen to it. And yes, I know that the developer probably didn't plan to put this song in the game, but again they may as well put it in, because it will be so perfect for it. And today's YouTuber recommendation is Mach 5 Mike. I love watching this guy racing game review. It's simply amazing, no pun intended. His video is well made and well edited, unlike me, which is crazy because this guy literally only have 800 subscriber. Seriously, this guy deserves more than that. In fact, he deserve more subscriber than me, and I will gladly donated 200 of my subscriber to him. So if you into this type of video, go show this guy some love. And now, the outro. And there you have it, a full history of Barbaric, as of February 10, 2026, aka the date I finish writing this script. Also Dexter, can I go out of character for second and tell you that, by the time you're finished this script I already beat Carmageddon max damage, complete all 3 PS1 Spyro game 100%, and still have enough time to spend my day off by hanging out with all 4 of my friend. Talking about friend, you guys going to see them in the future video, so look up for that. When's the next video, Dex? Anyway, back to the script. I forgot to say this in a beginning of a video, but recently they make a new Carmageddon game called Carmageddon Road Shift. I was excited when I first heard that they are making a new game, until I saw the gameplay from Black Panther, and my first impression, the game looked kind of underwhelming, which is ironic coming from me. I'm usually easily impressed, but holy shit 2 cake. And also according to them, this game is not a comeback, it's a spin-off, which is I got to respect them for saying that, unlike GT7 with their trailer saying, Gran Turismo is back.
Stop the cap. Stop the cap right now. Stop the cap. No.
Anyway, let me switch the topic from Carmageddon to how I usually terrible at doing outro. Like, congratulations, you finished the script. What's your final word?
It's over!